I gotta go to Rumble.
Rumble thing. Now it's just us talking with the thumbnail. You see this lovely thumbnail? It's not the perfect likeness of Elon Musk, but you get the idea, guys.
It's close. It's close enough. And I was very surprised with how ChatGPT was like, I'm gonna do it for you this time. Normally, I'm not gonna do something that mocks the likeness of someone else, but today,
yeah,
I got you. What?
What now? Oh, you hear my dogs barking in the background?
No, that's not what I was saying. What? I was saying what for when you put your thing on Rumble, it asks for the category, and it wanted me to use the category of 7 Days to Die, and I'm like, I don't play that game anymore. I mean, I do, but
what's that? What's that, brother? What's that? 7 Days to Die. Is that like some fucking? Is it like some? You are
zombie apocalypse game.
Oh,
survival zombie apocalypse game.
Semi-familiar.
Oh, I've got to share it on Facebook. God damn it!
And there's no music. Where's the music?
It's on. You just can't hear it. I don't know why you can't hear it this time.
It's always me that can't hear it, and I'm the music guy. But you're all probably banging your heads. Anybody who's, there's nobody on yet, but.
That's horrible.
There you go. Now it's gone.
Weird. So weird.
While I'm waiting.
I'm not against the Wi-Fi. I gotta go.
That's definitely the hard line talking. At least I know what's up. Dun 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 dun. I don't even know which part it is. The dun dun or the dun dun? The dun 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 dun. No, you don't have headphones. I'm just moving around because I think the music's am I even banging my head to the rhythm? I don't know. Who even knows I'm even here? There's heavy metal music playing. There is some music playing in and out. I'm confused. Is this what you all are hearing? Oh, there you go. Oh, now it's gone. Ah. Now I got it. You had to cut out in order for the music to come on.
Well I had to cut out because I lost internet connection. It's so weird.
What about a mishap? Well, I hope everybody out there is able to hear this song. Dumbfounded Dipshits theme song! Dumbfounded Dipshits theme song! Dumbfounded Dipshits! Dumbfounded! Dumbfounded Dipshits! Dumbfounded! Ooh. I hope that sounded good.
It did. It did. Where's our background? Why is the background?
Should I just put lyrics to this fucking free song that we got?
You could if you really wanted to.
I think I have some archived lyrics. I might just start breaking them out.
I don't oppose of this idea. I'm just going to share this to 2 more pages on Facebook because why not? So
what's up, dipshits? Happy fucking Sunday, 9:30 with the Dumbfounded Dipshits with some more dumbfounded dipshittery. We're going to bring you. We're just going to sound like idiots for the next hour and a half. If you don't get it, we're going to sound like idiots and then harass you online. That's what we do. That is our goal.
That is our motto.
Yeah.
our MO.
We lack the courage in our convictions, though. So we stand by nothing of what we say. We stand for nothing. We are literally legless.
We say what we don't mean, and we mean what we don't say.
Ah, I love it's like the irony lifestyle.
Speaking of irony, what's going on between Trump and Elon Musk? What
I think it's the lovers' tiff as you know, as it goes in the story. They're friends. They're not friends. They're friends. They're not friends. They forgave each other 3 times this week. So
did they really though?
And then stabbed each other in the back like immediately afterwards. So
is that?
I mean, did it? This is the whole thing, right? Do you remember, like, who's on the Epstein list? Who's on the flight logs? Who's on this? Who's on that? And Trump's name came up mad times. So it's like Elon Musk saying it. Is it really fucking offensive, or that he just said, because his name is definitely on the file?
No, but what I don't understand about that is people repeating it and going, "Oh my God, can you believe this?" It's like, no, we've known this. This is not new information, guys. We've known this for quite some time. From 2016, WikiLeaks talked about it. It's like,
but how didn't you know that? But let's talk about the fallout. How didn't you listen? When he picked up Elon Musk and just how erratic he was acting, I was like, this is definitely going to end like Lindsay Lohan's career. You know what I mean? She made a comeback. Lindsay Lohan, she's looking good, by the way. She's back again doing Old Navy commercials and movies and stuff. But do you remember, like, there was a point where she was like in rehab like 7 times in a row, and then like you didn't see her for fucking 10 years?
That's when I liked her the best.
Well, that's what Elon Musk is going down that road. Well, that's when everybody liked her the best.
Is he though?
I think everybody. All right, what are the rumors? He's all K'd up, right? He's, I guess on Adderall too. They're saying that he's on some sort of stimmy along with the ketamine, which, hey, listen, a lot of people do ketamine therapy. I'm not knocking the shit. Ketamine.
Listen. I am not.
Ketamine can be cool under certain circumstances.
I'm knocking the shit. You're just a drug addict, okay? No.
Whoa, Mike! Accusations. All right, listen.
I need treatment for my depression.
Have I dabbled in something in the past? Maybe.
Oh no! If you use it recreationally, you're fine. If you use it for depression or whatever nonsense they're telling you they're using it for, you're a drug addict. Let's be real here.
Well, Tim Dillon said that, I think.
No, he didn't. God damn it!
I think he did, dude. You just stole his line. I think Tim Dillon said that.
Listen. He stole it from me. Okay, we are far more popular than Tim Dillon. He's a right-wing comedian. No one likes him. Okay, so what if you went on?
I love that. I love that whole, like they try to pin him as that, and that CNN interview was pretty. It was. I was just like,
he's not right-wing, but he kind of is, but he kind of isn't.
This is the thing. Do you know what happens? It's like if somebody makes a point, they're right wings. That's just what it is. Like, it's just what it looks like now. I don't think we should have any wings. To be quite honest with you, I think we should be a flightless fucking bird.
So no Red Bull for anybody.
No Red Bull. You're done. You're all cut off.
No more wings.
You know what? I think the whole country went downhill with the advent of the energy drink.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at the chain of events, okay? That happened after the Red Bull surge in the early 2000s. Do you remember when Red Bull and vodka was all the rage? When we were all doing shots of Red Bull and vodka at the bars back in the mid 2000s? Since then, everything's pretty much turned to shit. Everybody wants to say Harambe. It's not fucking Harambe. It's not Harambe. It's Red Bull.
When was Red Bull invented?
It had to be the 90s, but it didn't catch on until
Ryan, Red Bull was invented April 1st, 1987.
What? And that's the original one that was made with actual taurine from a bull's balls, right? Because that's why they call it Red Bull. You know that, right? Red Bull because there's taurine in it. And taurine has that run it red fucking cape kind of fucking effect.
Red Bull is a brand of energy drinks created and owned by the Austrian company Red Bull GmbH.
Oh, it had to be some sort of fucking Nazi
country.
It
is the most popular energy drink brand as of 2020 and the third most valuable soft drink brand. Behind Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
That happened quick. I mean, that didn't happen quick, actually. Come to think of it. That was out for 20 years before it even caught on, right? Yeah. No, I drank my first Red Bull, I think, in 2002.
It came out 38 years ago. Jesus. I mean, I guess things did start going down in the 80s. If you think
I
about
don't
it.
think so. The 90s were awesome, dude. The 90s were fucking lit. Sorry.
Yeah,
90s best decade
the
by far.
first Desert Storm, Bill Clinton getting blowjobs in the Oval Office.
That's a shitty world. No, that's the president. The last time a president caught head in the Oval Office definitely wasn't anybody after him.
Let's be real. Trump gets head in the Oval Office every day.
I doubt that.
What do you think JD Vance is doing all day?
Oh, well, hey, he does look like he's full of cum.
He's
I didn't think of
definitely
that.
full of something, probably shit, but Imagine if you just logged in to watch us and you were expecting some like conservative show, and I'm over here saying JD Vance is blowing Trump.
It's what an impression, Mike. What an impression. So anyway, Elon's out, and now there's all this fallout because of it. Now people on there's sides of the aisle on this, and they're not politically driven. This is just who's telling the gossip. So the black guy, right? Where did it come from? He said fucking what? He was like training or something like that. But people were like, nah, he blacked out okay and fell face forward. He looks like he aged like 15 fucking years.
Yeah, he looks like shit. Like
he looks like garbage right now.
I just want to say also, remember how him and Zuckerberg were gonna get into a fight? And
Zuck got him. Zuck got him, dude. Zuck is gonna whoop his ass.
Jiu-jitsu legitimately, MMA legitimately, and he has the money to just sit around and just train all fucking day.
I would definitely say
Zuckerberg got him.
He's got him. He's got him in
weight advantage and size.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Zuck got him.
Zuckerberg's got the I don't do ketamine advantage.
Yes, he's got that. That's a huge advantage. I don't do constant ketamine. He's like on ketamine all the time. It's from what they say, allegedly, right? Because allegedly, right, Mike? Allegedly. Oh, this is all allegedly. Alleged. It all got legs.
Wait, what's allegedly?
That he's just on K all the time.
No. I can guarantee. I know for a fact. I know the guy.
Yeah, he does it.
I know the guy that sells him the K. Okay, I know which lab he gets it from. I'm lying, obviously.
It's legal ketamine. He's getting prescribed ketamine from a doctor because you could do that.
Once again, I'm going to say it again since our against authorities here. I'm going to say it again. If you go to a doctor and get ketamine, you're a drug addict. If you get it off the street, you're using it for the correct purposes.
So it's like the only legit way is just to get it off the fucking hot concrete instead of going into a doctor's office?
Well, do you remember when people used to take the fucking shit and put it in a microwave and do a lick and snort it?
Yeah.
That's what
that was rave culture back in the day. Rave culture back in the day, they had the little vial that they put in the microwave.
I respect those guys more than I respect a billionaire doing K, okay?
Because they put in the work. Because they put in the work.
Yes. Look, he can afford better drugs. Why are you doing K, man? You can get snort Mars rocks or something. What the fuck?
So I'm gonna say this then. So then that's like saying if you're shooting dope, like you're on another level than somebody who's just eating an oxy.
Okay, I wasn't talking about those guys. Okay, they're not in this conversation.
All right.
So I'm gonna watch this video. I don't know what it's about. It's about the fallout. Let's see.
Oh, let's see. Interesting.
Disagreement over President Trump's big beautiful bill has led to a public falling out between the president and the wealthiest man in the world, Elon Musk.
But he's
what?
He's not the wealthiest man in the world.
On paper, he is, but the Saudi Arabian princes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just had to throw that out there.
But is it because of the big beautiful bill or something else?
Something got him a lot of government funding, right?
I don't know.
Takeaways. 1. In an Oval Office meeting with the German Chancellor, Trump expressed disappointment with Musk.
But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
2. Musk welcomed an impeachment of Trump, replying yes to the suggestion from another person on X. 3.
Okay, but that suggestion said impeach Trump and let JD Vance be the vice
guys,
president.
So I'm not jerking off. My dog, I'm petting my dog. I'm not jerking off.
I'm going to make that into a reel and make it say, I am jerking off. I'm not petting my dog.
But I'll show come here. I got my dog
No.
here. Look, there's a dog. There's a legit dog. Now, was I jerking off my dog?
Whoa. Okay.
No, don't say that. I was not. This is a character piece, okay? fucking satire. God damn it, you
No,
fucking
you're not
perverts.
supposed to admit it though.
Say hello.
You never admit it.
He's cute. If you didn't sub or if you didn't fucking hit like and subscribe after this, there's a fucking problem with you.
All right, that's definitely going to be a reel. If I ever get to it, I keep getting behind. Anyway.
In another post on X, Musk predicted Trump's tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of the year.
I feel like he's just repeating talking points now, though, because people.
He's taking little snippets that other people have tweeted on X and is just regurgitating it that are anti-Trump. And do you want to know what I think?
They're both trolling us.
Dude, it's a fucking plan because they were like, give Elon all of this shit in the big beautiful bill, and then we're gonna fight afterwards, so it doesn't look like you had any favoritism because we hate each other now. So, dude, it's wrestling. Trump. Do you remember when he was in fucking WrestleMania? Yes. Trump learned a lot from Vince McMahon, and I honestly think, like, obviously, his whole persona is kayfabe. If you think about it,
did he learn about the sexual harassment as well?
Who? Elon?
From Vince McMahon. You said Trump learned a lot from Vince McMahon.
I think it's just part of the course with the crew.
Was Vince McMahon like, hey, you gotta pay this bitch Stormy Daniels, bro? Just pay her from campaign funds too. You know.
Is that what happened? That is what happened? I forget. You know, if it's out of the news loop for more than a year, then I fucking forgot what happened.
Everyone's memory lasts about 3 months. So 3 months ago, you don't remember what happened. So like,
that's just how humans are now. It's just that we.
Oh, speaking of memories that last 3 months, the next talking point that was brought up was
in yet another post on X, Musk linked Trump to accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein.
That makes no sense to me because there's already photos of released of them together. He's on the flight logs. We know this. We've known this since 2016 when WikiLeaks released it. It might have been later than 2016. It might even have been earlier. I'm not entirely sure. I don't I didn't pinpoint the date, but I know we talked about this on an episode of this show when we talked about Epstein years ago.
Dude, I think we had like a run of 6 episodes.
Yes.
That we literally covered every Epstein fucking tidbit that just got regurgitated. And it's like this is before she was even caught. She was still out on the lam. And we made episodes about her just being out on the lam and no one's able to find her. And years later, they caught her. So when we were talking about that and we brought up all these things, every time there's like new Epstein story that's in a newspaper, it's a regurgitation of all that shit that we were talking about fucking 5 years ago. You know what I mean? And this is just a regurgitation of it because bullet point, right? Trump said, hey, Elon, just bring up the blah, 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 and also bring up the blah, blah, blah. And it'll look like we're beefing because this is what Joy Behar says. This is what Whoopi Goldberg says every fucking morning. So it's like you just say what they say and it'll look like we're beefing instantly. Like the media will pick up on that instantly. They're not going to think we're faking because 50% of the population is already talking all this shit. Dude, we're all being worked, bro.
Over and over. And it doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter who your elected officials are. It's the same nonsense. You know, I'm starting to believe that, like, going to go off into conspiracy land and where we need.
I'm going to move in close, Mike. I'm going to move in close. Tell me, Mike.
Okay.
Please, tell me.
What if we were just, like, taken over by anything you pick? And this is just all part of the nonsense that's thrown in front of us so we can't notice that we're not in control anymore.
That's already a conspiracy theory.
You know, I know, but I mean, it just seems as time goes by a little more likely that that's what's going on.
Or is it just OBV? Is it just obvious? Like it's, you know what I mean? Like
if I was going to enslave an entire planet, I would do exactly what's going on the entire planet right now.
I think I would just gather the Infinity Stones. That's what I would do personally.
And just,
I mean, it's not because of all this in the background, by the way. But yeah, I would just gather Infinity Stones, I think.
5. In a social media post of his own, Trump threatened to cancel government contracts held by Musk.
And that's another thing people were tweeting and posting about, if you want to save money, just get rid of all of Elon's contracts. So they have to be trolling because they're just repeating exactly I don't understand what's going on. It's just not a good look.
Good job, dude. It's like, dude, you know how like I said kayfabe because it's like you see it happen in wrestling all the time where they'll like not reuse a storyline, but it's like, yo, this shit happened between two wrestlers 30 years ago, and it is, yeah, okay, my bad. It is reusing a storyline.
Yeah, absolutely. No. When you said it's not, I was like,
I'm stupid. This is dumbfounded dipshits. Look behind Mike. Do you see what it says there? Does that sound like we're smart? No.
Jesus Christ. Hey, speak for yourself. I'm a fucking scientist.
Yeah,
I have a doctorate.
Some kind of scientist.
I have a doctorate in dipshittery.
The dipshitisms.
That's
what we should have. We should just have dipshitisms. It's just like little one-liners that we just like sound fucking stupid.
I got it from the University of the Dumbfounded.
I like that. We should have an online course like Phoenix like University or something like that.
Like Trump University?
Yeah, DSU. Where'd you go to? A DFDSU. DFDSUs, yeah, Dumbfounded Dipshit University. Like, I come up with the fucking quick acronyms, bro. Like that.
You know, Steve Bannon has looked like he's dying since the first time I saw a picture of him. Like he's
the only one who hasn't aged. He's looked like shit for fucking 15 years. This is what you call alcohol Irish face.
And like, wow, that's
accurate.
Liver spots and the whole nine over here.
6.
He's got that fucking growth on the side by his temple. It's pretty wicked.
Bannon joined the fray, telling the New York Times he was urging Trump to investigate Musk, including whether he should be deported.
That is funny. I'm sorry.
You know, because he's a full-on citizen. He can't get deported.
Yeah, he's
not a South African national anymore, I don't think. I think he completely gave that up. Right? Or am I bugging?
No,
or am I a dipshit?
No,
aha.
So he went from South Africa to Canada, became a Canadian citizen, then moved to America and became an American citizen. That's where
I'm going to tell you this right now. You're a billionaire. You don't think that you're just getting your fucking citizenship? Like once you build factories here? Of course you are. Dude, he's an American citizen, number one, right? And I think that's because he gave up his citizenship in Canada and South Africa. I think he's solely an American citizen, so you cannot deport him to his country of origin because technically his country of origin is the United States. Because, you know what that whole thing is like when you revoke citizenship of another country, they ask you that question, I think, when you swear to become an American citizen, they ask you that question.
I can confirm they did ask me that question when I was born a U.S. citizen.
No, they didn't ask. No, I'm saying when they fucking do make you swear in and shit when you're an immigrant. If you go through the whole immigration process and then you become a citizen, they give you a whole swearing thing that you got to do. And it says that you have to give up your citizenship in the other country.
You don't have to though. You could be dual citizen, by the way, in some countries.
Certain countries, yes. Like Britain, you could do that. You could do that in Canada. No, I don't think you could do that in Canada.
No, I don't think you can do it. I think you can.
Well, Mexico, you can't. I don't think Mexico, you can.
I think you can. I think like the only country you can't do it in is like I could probably name 10 that you can't do it in. Probably like most of those terrorist countries. Alleged.
Yeah, like enemies of the state. Enemies of the state, right? Okay.
Remember when we brought up North Korea a while ago and we were like, we don't actually know we only know what the people who escaped from there say allegedly, or the people who snuck in say allegedly, but we don't know what's real and what's not. It could be a paradise and they're all lying to us. I doubt it's a paradise, but it could be.
Well, the thing is, there's contrary footage nowadays that says that it's not all that smoke and mirrors, although it is. Like the thing is, like they say yes, there is some staged areas, but that's not the entirety of Pyongyang and like the rest of it.
No,
but you choose
everything.
You can't believe anything unless there's full disclosure. So as long as they continue to be isolated, the thing is like, this is the old story of that old decrepit house that the one person lives in, old lady or old man, like from Home Alone, and nobody talks to this person. This person is completely isolated. So everybody has some sort of fucking freak legend about whatever's happening in that house. And then, right? And then it snowballs into some other shit to where it's like you think that this person's an axe murderer, right? Or this, that, and the other thing. There could be things. The guy could have had like a criminal record, but it went from like misdemeanor assault to like he murdered a family of 10.
Wow.
And And I'm saying it could just balloon like that. So like maybe that's the North Korea thing. Maybe it is like, yeah, it is a dictatorship. Yes. People have been fucking, with dictatorships, it just goes hand in hand. People go missing. Dude, it's just what happens. Like the gulags in Russia, it's just, North Korea is just doing what Stalin did. It's just like ongoing with the tradition, which technically that sort of started then. And just he carried it on through the family, right?
Pretty sure it probably went a little started before that. He just
maybe before that, yeah. But even still, that's what's happening with this. Like maybe North Korea, maybe it's like there's like 5 like fake supermarkets. But if you go to like where the actual populace is, there's got to be fucking places. Like you don't have your city's population dying of starvation. That's not happening because you got to have like the visual to the rest of the world.
All the wealthy people live there. They're not going to show you the peasants that are living in a fucking small town with no food. They have to bag up their poop because you get money for the more poop you give because there's no fertilizer, allegedly. You're eating rats and shit that you find.
But that's not old news. That's not old news. Like there's like even less than 100 years ago. Do you know the term piss poor? Yes. Do you know where that comes from? It comes from tanners. Like people who were tanning leather needed urine or urea to fucking tan the leather, and people who were so poor they could only sell their piss. So, and that was here, by the way, guys, and that's some dipshit information, an actual fact.
Can you hear me?
You don't get many of them. Of course, I can hear you. I hear you all the time.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you in my dreams, Michael.
Can you hear me now? Hear me now?
I can hear you
still
now.
Hear me? God damn it! So the cough button doesn't work.
I can't. Cough button sucks, bro. Now I can't hear you. All right, so you win for once.
I have a cough button. It didn't work. Nice. I still coughed and you heard it.
Fancy. I had a lot of shit going on this week, so we all promised each other we were going to get new mics, but I was in New York last weekend, like blocks away from you, by the way, and I didn't get my fucking mic.
Well, shit happens. You didn't get your mic in 2 different ways. I didn't see you, and you didn't get your mic.
Listen, there's a Guitar Center across the street from my house. I'm just going to walk there tomorrow.
This mic isn't bad. I could also plug in headphones to hear myself, but I don't know if it'll work because I think the audio will still come from my speakers. Anyway, here's a
stop overthinking shit, bro.
Here's a timeline.
Stop overthinking shit, bro.
On Thursday, on June 5th, Musk in his first. So Musk went at Trump first.
Yeah, he was the instigator. After he got canned. He got shit canned first. But this is the thing. His contract was up. He wasn't supposed to work after that day. Elon didn't want to stay on. Look at him. He's fucking dying, bro. He says, I'm 24 hours at the fucking at the headquarters. And then, he's like, I'm back to living at the office.
So Elon, in his first direct attack on Trump, said he was embarrassed Republicans were extending the debt ceiling. Why?
That's going to happen anyway. You know that. They're going to continuously raising the debt ceiling. That's in perpetuity. That's not going to stop.
No, that's forever.
Yeah.
Literally forever.
You know what the debt ceiling is? Yeah, This. Do you know what this is? It's fucking infinity. Because the thing is, there's really nothing besides gold. There's nothing backing any of this shit. And you know what the fucking lizard people need? Fucking gold so that they can fucking protect their planet. No, what is that shit? Hold on a second. That shit that Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about, where it's like faraway civilizations who are on another level or another grade civilization, they can throw gold particles into the air to reflect the heat of the sun to cool their planet. So that's why the aliens came here to ancient Egypt, was to mine fucking gold so that they could take it back and save their planet from getting shined to death by their fucking giant star.
I just wanted
as the story goes.
This article up
allegedly
August 3rd, 2011. U.S. avoids default as Obama signs debt bill into law. They raise the debt ceiling every year. Doesn't matter who the president is. They have to meeting, agree on a budget, and raise the debt ceiling. And if they don't, the government shuts down. And every year you're threatening a government shutdown due to this. Listen, here's what I said. Here's what I used to say. I said this in 2011. I think I said this after this. I was working on a film set driving, and it was on the radio that if they don't sign the bill, blah, 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 the government will close. And it happened. And the government closed for like 3 days, and then they came to a deal.
And they came to a deal, yeah. And it was like, technically, it was over a weekend. So they had a long weekend. It was like Thursday, Friday, Monday, and they came back on Tuesday. So it was like, bullshit. You guys all just took a fucking weekend vacation to Martha's Vineyard.
You did what most employees do. They save the sick time for when they're actually not sick and take a 4-day weekend. However, so I said this then, and it still applies today. If the government can just shut down because our representatives that are supposed to represent us can't agree on a budget, you are no longer a government that works for the people. You don't work for us. You're not listening to us. You should all be, boom, kicked out.
Yeah.
If you can't agree on anything, you want to fight and not sign the paper or figure out how to actually control the budget, you're shit. Also, money's made up. Money doesn't exist. The whole monetary system. Yeah.
Gold exists.
Do we even have
silver? Yes, we do. The thing is, there is still, all right, let's just put it this way. If there's like fucking solar flare, blah, 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 right? And all your fucking crypto gets zapped, right? Tangible assets are the only things that's left. Gold, platinum, silver, property, land. We're going back fucking 1,000 years, buddy, because the thing is, the banking system is pretty much, I don't know if it's that old. In Europe, I think it goes back that far. Our modern like loan system, the way banks actually work nowadays. Let's look this up. How old is the modern banking system? There you go. We'll find that shit out.
Fuck.
Because the thing is, I think it's been around for a long ass fucking time. You know what I mean?
It's just
what?
Okay. It's just proving further my point that the whole world is scam and we're all enslaved by something.
Why? What does it say? What does it say?
2000 BC in ancient Mesopotamia.
So you're talking about our modern banking system literally goes back to the Sumerians.
Yes.
So it's like Gilgamesh and fucking banks. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Would it be crazy?
Oh, wait. Mesopotamia. Wait, no, hold on a second. Hold on. Is that like ancient Mesopotamia 2,000 years? Because Egypt, the ancient Egypt was around 2,000 years BC. It was around 5,000 years BC and maybe even before that. And I think Mesopotamia is just slightly older than that. So somebody in Babylon came up with banks. That's what that means.
I'm trying to find out the actual. It was actually the
Sumer? The Sumerians?
The rivals of the Sumerians.
Hold on a second, because I got a little theory. Actually, I'm not going to say the theory. Shit's way too heated in the world right now to give my theories.
You can't just say that.
All right, I'll say this. I'll give you guys some breadcrumbs. How about this? The name Yahweh originates in Mesopotamia, not in the land of Judea. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, if you got that fucking comment in the chat. Otherwise, I don't think fucking Mike got it. Mike should have gotten that shit off the bat, but you didn't.
Well, when you said the name, I searched it instantly, so I was distracted.
And we're talking about banks. So, equals what? Oh, that was plus. My bad. Plus equals. Suck it. What, you don't want to read it out loud, Mike? Anyway. Elon Musk has left the Oval Office. And what is he going to do next? This is now that we gotten past all this beef. And now it's like, all this shit to where it's like we have like a paper trail of beef that is like, if anybody wants to bring this to court.
Yeah, but also doesn't
like I don't think they could like really deny like how bad their beef is. You know what I mean? I had to think about that.
Yeah, but he controls. I mean, there are screenshots, but they've already deleted some tweets, but there was already a photo of a screenshot. But then, how long until you stop believing the screenshot is real and you blame it on AI or something?
Well, the thing is that everybody's blaming everything on AI. The future of
you can't tell any more of what's legit and what's not.
Listen. The future of plausible deniability
is
going to change, dude. Because the thing is, like, everybody's like, well, there's enough evidence to not convict, right? So now there's like, I could just make something up that makes me look like I wasn't there. So it's just like Diddy could have taken that fucking Cassie beat up footage and he could have doctored that shit to make it look like somebody else beat her up. You know what I mean? Like if that had come out later, let's just say, right? And then that ends up becoming like, because you could fucking manipulate that shit. You could actually go in and doctor shit to make a timestamp look different, blah, 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 right? And that shit, AI could fucking just literally that AI can make Diddy into fucking Jamie Foxx. It can make him into just another person. It could turn fucking Diddy into fucking like fucking like Willy Wonka. You know what I mean? It could just be Willy Wonka beating Cassie up the fucking hallway. So
speaking of beating bitches.
Wow, that's harsh words. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's old news, but we didn't get to cover this yet. Oh, snuffed. Yo, that's a presidential fucking biff. Did you see that shit? She just said, "What? Hi," and he goes, "Hello."
So what I think happened here is they opened the door and he was still talking to her, and she's like, "Dude, go out there." And he's like, "No, let me finish. The door's open. Snuff, go." The fuck.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, like, I think they just had a regular fucking. This happens all the time, and they just had their regular lovers fight. And she's just used to beating him up like this for years because they've been together for a long time. And, like.
I'm just giving it the benefit of the doubt here and saying it was a rare situation caught.
I don't think so. I think this shit happens all the time. That's the thing.
It's already here.
And, okay, just to say this, I had a conversation this week with somebody about AI and how it. Okay, I was texting this person and they were like, it's like it's really going to take over, and I said, that's all well and good when you have somebody sitting there like overseeing it. The AI works so great when you are actually functioning with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for people to be like, it's going to just go run wild on its own, I'm a little because I'll tell you why. I work with AI every fucking day. And that shit is retarded. Does not know basic fucking English from the mouth of a human being.
Well, you have really bad AI then. There's other...
No. And I'll tell you why. Accents are what fucks it up. If you speak articulately and you stop and pause at the right time and do not speak at too fast of a speed, the AI will catch everything that you say. But if you speak really fast, you really talk like this, and you're stuttering, it goes, and it fucking fucks up. And the thing is, you'll understand. So, for example, if somebody who spoke patois, okay, and the AI just literally turned it into fucking mush with a word here and there. But I understood like 80% of it. Now, one could say it's because I grew up in New York and I worked with a lot of people from the island of Jamaica, so I could pick up on it. But the thing is, the AI is derp, and you're supposed to be smarter than me. I'm just a punch-drunk former construction worker who's doing a Dumbfounded Dipshits podcast right now, and I could still understand what this gentleman was saying. You know what I mean? And it wasn't even a heavy accent. I'm telling you, he was speaking like perfect English, but with the accent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't using slang that much because we were talking about like formal matters. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just it needs our help. This is what the fear is: cyborgs.
Well,
Cyborgs should be like what Elon is doing. Let's go back to Elon.
Whatever happened to Elon's Neuralink? I know they'd used it in someone, but it's very limited. He can do things.
It's still being worked on. But it's getting better, dude. I think like they made like in 1 year they made some massive jump.
And on top of that, I mean, I don't understand how. I don't understand how people turned on Musk. So, I mean, I guess it's because of Trump mainly, but anyone can.
That's exactly why, dude. All it was is his association with them. Because the thing is, like, if he never
Trump either, but
if he never jumped on board, dude, he would still be just Rogan's friend, just like sort of like a centrist billionaire who like just does tech shit.
Yeah, but everyone's like, I don't know. Come on, electric cars. Everyone's preaching about how cars are bad for the environment, and certain states are banning regular traditional engines to switch to electric, and all this nonsense. And then I don't know. Yeah, 100% to do with Trump.
I think if he latched on to the Dems, let's just say if he went Kamala, I think it would happen the same way. I think the fucking Red Hats would just like fucking tear him up. I think they would. It just would be equal even Stevens.
It's the same thing. It's the different side of the same coin, But
anyway, this meme, dude, golden. Because I love the comic book fucking type.
It's also made by AI. It's a photo with a very good point from a very good movie made by AI. No, but
I think this is actually from a comic book. It's from the Dark Horse T2 comic book, I think, that I owned. I might still own, actually. But I'm not opening up some old-ass comic book just to fucking prove a point. Y'all go fuck yourselves with that one.
I'm doing it. I'm searching the Google image to see where it originated from. Image. Upload a file. You can search. Let's see. Desktop. Where are you?
Oh man, my private chat window is blocking my. Oh, let me get rid of this. I can't see the comment. Oh, the meme. What did it say? The meme, whatever it is, sold gold. By the way, solid gold. Oh yeah, it is totally solid gold. Art against authority. I'm telling you, totally agree. And I think that if these memes were worth their weight in gold, then we could use it as currency. Actually, you know what would be sick?
What happened to NFTs?
Memes turn into. That's what I'm saying. Memes should just turn into currency. Memes should be pennies because NFTs. All right. The thing is, it's non-tangible, and I don't like that shit. You know what I like? I like signed baseballs. I'm a connoisseur. Okay. I like it when the actual person touched the artwork and or the item and actually wrote on it or drew on it or did whatever on it, and it's a thing that has something on it that's like individual, and you have it. And you have it like you fucking like this, like you got it. And you own it. And it's yours. You know what I mean? Like these guitars. Like it's a thing.
Yeah. So
it's a thing. I could trade one of these things for something else.
My daughter made a tin foil artwork piece, and she said it was a dinosaur. To me, it looked like a metallic turd, but she said it was a dinosaur.
And it's probably close, I would say, yeah.
And I said to my wife, put it on Amazon or eBay or whatever. And people will buy anything. You tell them it's some crazy, cool fucking artwork. Remember that someone bought the invisible sculpture from an artist?
Yes. So yeah. I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe that they could actually pull that off.
They pulled it off.
People showed up.
Yep.
And somebody bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, listen, This actually saddens me because, like we said earlier in the podcast, maybe the advent of Red Bull was when everything took a turn, but we all know that I'm going to call Harambe Gen Z 9/11. So there is 9/11, and then Harambe is Gen Z 9/11. Everything went downhill after that shit. And it saddens me. 2016 was a sad year. A lot of fucked up shit happened in 2016.
Did you just compare the death
of one of the most famous gorillas in the world? Yes.
To 9/11, where 2 planes hit the Twin Towers.
Yeah, and like 3,000 people died, and yeah, it was a bad day.
People are still dying from that because of the breathing in of that air.
Yeah, so let's just talk about the total death toll of 9/11, right? So far, would you say it's like probably close to 5,000 people?
Probably more. I would contribute my grandfather's death to 9/11 because he was there digging up the bodies and digging for survivors and digging and digging.
So
he did it for
all these people that do you want to say?
His eyes were red.
Give me a number. Give me a number.
He died from lung cancer. He had a heart attack, but he also had lung cancer, liver cancer, and I forgot where else it went. Stomach. So it was a bad look, and it was all attributed to 9/11.
Okay, so he's one of the victims. How many more victims were there? Give me a number.
Probably about 10,000 people died from 9/11.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of fucking people, dude. How many people died from fucking COVID? Harambe. How many people died under fucking the Tiger King? I don't think anybody. Oh, one. So you can count that. You can count anybody who died because Trump became president in 2016.
Wow.
You can count anybody who died because Biden became president in 2020. And you can count anybody who died when Trump became president again just recently. So everybody who's died since Harambe passed is part of the Harambe death toll. So I'm sorry. I apologize that your 10,000 fucking dead body count.
It's more than that. I Googled it.
Okay, how much is it? 9/11 deaths.
It's not deaths. It's health-related issues that are attributed to 9/11, including deaths.
Is it more than 100 million?
Not 100 million. There wasn't even 100 million people in the area.
Well, that's how many people died since Harambe. That's how many people died since fucking Harambe, dude.
Are you saying he's responsible for...
Not him. The guy who shot him. Actually, that little fucking kid, right? Wasn't it a kid? There was like a kid who jumped in.
The kid jumped in, and the ape didn't even hurt the kid. The gorilla, excuse me.
I think he just dragged him by his leg, and that was it, right? And then they shot him.
Yes.
And it was something. I think it was something that the gorillas actually do to their own children. But the thing is, like, we're a little bit more frail, so everybody fucking freaks out because, listen, we just had the debate, didn't we? And we played the fucking AI video. Did we play that yet? No, actually, I don't even think I sent it to you. Right. But anyway, 100 people versus a gorilla. There's okay. Remember?
No, we played it. It was a people tornado. Remember? Oh no, that was
Chuck Norris. Yes. Okay. But what I'm talking about is that you remember the fat fellas. You remember fat fellas? So the people, I think the people who made the one gorilla's plight being like attacked by 100 people. So the video is the gorilla's perspective of him getting attacked by 100 human beings.
you know that gorilla's dead, right?
I think one person said, who was an actual like zookeeper, said, I know these things, and 40 people. And after 40, the 40th person will probably have killed it. So that's the number, I think. I think it's way less than half of 100. 100 people are getting destroyed by a fucking gorilla. Whoever came up with that number, dude, must be a dipshit. Is that Paula Deen?
Wow. No, definitely not. So the Illinois might end Freeburg High's
mascot
Tradition. Well, what's the
So
mascot?
what's the tradition? Or what's the mascot? Right? What's the? Oh wait, maybe because they left the name out.
You sent this to me, so I don't.
After all these years, I think it would be very odd
I
to
forgot.
change it. Nobody would know who it is.
For nearly 9 decades, Freeburg High School has proudly been the home of the Mighty Midgets. While some say the name is...
She said it. She said it.
The Mighty Midgets?
She said it. She said the M word.
The Mighty is the name of the team, the Mighty Midgets.
I'm just saying, like, you could definitely get an LP who's mad fucking strong. Like, they got those dudes who are powerlifters and shit.
An offensive. Others argue it's a proud part of the town's history. The mascot's origin dates back to the 1930s when a local sports writer coined the nickname after a basketball team, despite having no player taller than 5'10", defeated a much larger undefeated opponent. But today,
I like the legend. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's a pretty sick legend. Because it was a short ass team that like played and won against like the legit team, which is a pretty sick story. That's a pretty listen from a sports fan's perspective. That is definitely a Rocky story. Agree?
Yes, and also context is everything. They're not calling a little person a midget. They're using the word midget in a different context.
They're referring it to as to a regular sized person.
Yeah.
So it is a pejorative in a way. It was to self-deprecate the team. But what was the team's name when the midget legend started? What was the name?
Mascots Matter has been pushing for years to remove the mascot.
That's how I said home of the midgets. Okay, that it's a little...
Arguing it is offensive to people with dwarfism. Many in Freeburg.
Okay. I think dwarfism is worse than the word midget, but who am I to say that? I'm not a dwarf. But like...
I just say LP. That's all I do.
Yeah, but like...
I just say LP.
I feel like a dwarf is a mythical creature from Narnia.
Okay, all right. I love that argument. Because that name should just be completely removed altogether and left in Tolkien's world.
Yeah, right.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's
like
not...
J.R.R. Tolkien should just have that, and or maybe Narnia, yeah, and like Dungeons and Dragons, like that culture of like fantasy should have it.
He helped. Little do people know he helped write the Webster Dictionary.
Is that a dipshit fact?
Yes, it's a dipshit fact.
Another dipshit fact. I like that. I like that we actually have our stupid fake dipshittery, and then we do actual real facts in between. That should be a dipshitism. A dipshitism should be an actual fact. That is completely irrelevant. Like useless facts should be dipshitisms, right? Should we, guys? Listen, we got 6 people watching. Let me ask you: should we just make actual facts dipshitisms because all the other shit that we spew is just fucking bullshit? Does it sound a good idea to you?
Yeah, but look, I just proved it.
Let us know in the comments.
Information. It's a dipshit fact, but it's an actual fact. So you guys never know whether we're just making shit up or not. You'll never know.
It's fact roulette.
See, J.R.R. Tolkien did work on the Oxford English Dictionary after World War I, specifically focusing on words beginning with the letter W. He was assigned to the task of researching and documenting the history and etymology.
Etymology. That's the etymology. That's etymology is like the study of language and study of word origin. I think etymology is.
This experience significantly influenced his later writing.
I don't know that for sure.
Creation of language for his fictional work. See, I knew that because I wanted to see how he was able to create a language in his books. And that's how I think I researched this a long time ago.
Because he borrowed from a bunch of different languages. Like I think even the script isn't Arabic, but it's like some sort of like Middle Eastern like dialect. And he borrowed from that, and he borrowed words that were like Norse origin, and then Rus or like Russian origin, and he took all these different fucking words to make a language. Like literally. Yeah. But listen, hold on a second. Gene Roddenberry did that shit with fucking the Klingons, bro.
Okay.
It's a whole full-ass Klingon language, dude.
Hold on. There is not. There is no...
Yes, there is!
No.
I know how to say traitor in Klingon.
That's one fucking word. There's
words. It's a word, and it's in a language.
He made words. Okay, they used words and whatnot. here's the thing. I know this because I knew someone that's like, oh, I studied Klingon. I could say things in Klingon, and he would just scream at you, and you have to accept the fact that he's talking
No,
Klingon.
it's not. There's a fucking dictionary, dude. Patak.
He's like,
Patak.
I could speak Klingon. I was like, sure, let's hear it. Patak, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I believe you. I have no reason not to believe you.
There's an actual pronounceable written fucking language, and there's a fucking full on. I think whatchamacallit, Klingon language that's actually you could speak in parlance. Like you could fucking talk to somebody in Klingon. I'm pretty much sure that that's what's up.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's.
Let's get back to the I would like. Hold on a second. Can we do this as a dipshit sort of fucking little thing? Could we do this and just have a language episode?
Like we just research languages and see.
Yes, but it's got to be like bad words. Like,
why
you know what I mean?
Like that? Like, it's got to be like bad words.
Because I don't want good words. Because who the fuck is gonna want to like? Oh, how do you say cake in Cambodian?
No,
like I don't want to know.
Hey, one day you might end up in Cambodia and want cake.
That's true, and that's a plan of mine. And the new world that I want to live in is that I am in Cambodia and I have like the opportunity to ask for cake. Yes. Actually, I'm not fucking kidding. That's like I'd like to be in Cambodia, like right now, like eating cake. It's somewhere in like a roadside fucking food stand. That would be sick.
Well, you ever see the video that the YouTuber who's like in Queens, fucking Flushing, and he speaks fluent Chinese?
Yeah,
and he just goes into the
Yeah, but he speaks more than one dialect, dude. The guy speaks Cantonese.
There's something
Mandarin.
See, some people are retarded, and he has a special kind of retardation where it's like a superpower where he can literally learn languages really quickly. As like something wrong with him that he can learn languages that.
No, that's there's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with him. That's called a fucking sick talent. You know, like honestly,
accept what I just said. Because
that's fact. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Jeez, man.
And that's my bad. Sometimes I forget that to get it.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes I forget to get my own bullshit.
Yes. And that it is, in fact, bullshit.
And that's part about being a dipshit is sometimes you forget that you're a dipshit. But yes. Fucking no mighty midgets anymore. Listen, you know what? Their logo sucked. They should have. I guarantee you, if they came up with a brand new logo, they would have probably had their, they would have probably had their.
I remember I was hanging out with, or wasn't hanging out with, I was working with years ago. It was actually John was with me. We were having a conversation with someone who was a lesbian. And
why did you drop the L? Why did you say lesbian? Why did you say lesbian?
I didn't. I said lesbian.
No, now you said it. But before you were like lesbian. And it wasn't a pause. Dude, it wasn't like, no, you just said lesbian. Why did you say lesbian? Why are you just dropping the L's? You should throw two L's in front of lesbian and go lesbian.
No. So I said to John, I was like, hey, you remember Dyke? And he's like, oh, how can I forget Dyke? I'm like, yeah, Dyke. And then she's like, I'm like, no, her name is Dyke. And she's like, did you guys call her this? Or this was like, and she was very confused. And I was just like, no. She did graffiti and her tag was Dyke. And then so therefore we called her Dyke. Yo,
people forget. People forget tag culture. They forget all that shit. Graffiti culture, tag culture, and just people just had their name. And sometimes it was vulgar, but if it was any less than 4 letters, you were good.
Shit, I nearly got hit in the head a couple of times.
What's it? Are rare cases where chronic brain injury victims wake up playing piano. Oh, yeah, there's that lady. Dude, there's that lady in Britain who woke up with a Chinese accent because she got fucking slammed in the head. And there's like some dude who could do complex mathematics after getting into a fucking massive car accident. There was like some dude who became like a math genius after getting his head smashed, and he failed like basic math in high school.
So what you're telling me is I need to get in my car and aim at a tree and then go.
Well, there's like you could get your brand new fucking mic. You dropped it off. You gotta get that vice tight, bro. You gotta get that like me. My vice is mad tight. mad tight. What I'm saying is like you could get knocked retarded or you could get knocked fucking genius. Like that shit could happen. You know? It totally is a thing. But the thing is, that has got to be some statistical anomaly to where it's like, how the fuck do you just like you gotta be hit at the right time. You know what I mean?
So yeah, like I was saying, what you gotta do is you aim at the tree and you hit it, and then you take out a notebook as you're bleeding and you try to do math. No, can't do it yet. You ram it again. And you try to do math. You can't do it. Keep ramming it until you could do the equation. Then you're good. You stop ramming.
But then you'll be like fucking the pussy wagon guy in fucking Kill Bill after fucking getting slammed in the head with the door fucking 17 times. You just turn into Jello. That
was such a random drop of a scene drop. Wow.
It's a good scene. It's a good fucking scene. Wiggle your big toe, Mike. Wiggle your big toe.
You know, he was allegedly for his giant feet.
That and, Quentin Tarantino has a foot fetish. And that's why he was like, he dated Uma Thurman.
It could be an urban legend.
That's not a fucking urban legend. Dude, he purposely had her go barefoot in Pulp Fiction. Even though it's typical for women to take off their high heels, she had flats on. There was no reason for her to take her shoes off.
There's always reasons for Uma Thurman to take her shoes off.
Well, as far as Quentin Tarantino thinks, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he was dating her for Pulp Fiction, but they I don't think they collaborated at all. And then eventually they got back together for Kill Bill just to make Kill Bill because they were starting that. You remember Fox Force 5 when they was talking about that is Kill Bill. That is the idea of Kill Bill starting.
Speaking of foot fetishes.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I'm just saying. If I saw that at a burlesque show, I would be entertained.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty entertaining, I think. But imagine having a foot fetish and meeting this one and being like, shit, god damn it.
I wonder if she could twerk.
I don't get it, though.
If she could twerk like that, I'd be impressed.
Hold on. We need to fix this. Hold on. No, it doesn't work.
Oh, she's killing it. You know what I mean? Like amputees who become resilient like this are just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Do you see what she's doing? What the fuck are you doing? Dude?
I'm using my hands and feet to climb that ride. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you're not climbing shit, though. But you're not climbing shit is the point.
No, but I am. You're pointing to the wrong person.
No, yeah, no. When I'm pointing to you out there and fucking,
What are you doing? Like, Ryan, I'm using my hands and feet to climb.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you. Not you, Mike. I'm talking to you. What are you doing with your life? I was climbing ladders, too, with my fat ass. My fat ass climbed ladders for 20 years.
It's a whole thing for amputees or something.
I want you laying me down to a dead and buried on the edge of your knife, staying drunk on your vibe.
Well, wait. There's a whole thing?
Yes.
There's a whole thing of amputee acrobats?
Yeah, apparently so. Hold on, there's more. No.
Yo, I was just going back to say what we were talking about before, is that like AI and like being a cyborg would benefit these people. These people would end up being like better than humans with their own natural limbs.
Wow.
You know what I mean? On steroids, even.
All right. See, I'm giving them props for this. Hold on. Not because they're amputees and missing limbs, but because if I did that, I'm throwing up from being so dizzy.
Anybody who I see did that acrobatic shit. Like, I was on a cruise ship last year, and they had their, whole, like, Cirque du Soleil thing going. And I watched this lady do a ring spin You know, like the ring spin. You know what I'm talking about? Where so it's on that like veiled rope, right?
Here's
and
everybody.
it's ring, and she's like holding it like X-wise, right? Like she's got her feet splayed out and her hands holding onto the bar. I'm telling you, this thing flipped around so fast. I was like, I don't understand how she didn't lose consciousness because of the G-forces, because of how quick that shit was going. Like she was spinning faster than a fucking figure skater. You know what I'm saying? When the figure skaters do that fucking
yeah. Listen.
This is quicker than that.
I can barely handle a roller coaster nowadays. I am never going to space.
Or maybe it was because I was tripping on that ship. That could be why.
Wait, are their limbs on fire here? What the fuck?
Limbs on Fire. That sounds like an awesome name for a band, bro.
Wait. Did they? Wow.
Yo, we should start a band, Mike, and just name our band Limbs on Fire. Actually, it's more like Stumps on Fire.
Wow. Stumps on fire.
People will hate us for that. They will hate us.
Imagine you're on vacation with your family.
And? ...
Hold on. Be sure to, when you go on hikes with your family, make sure there's not an active volcano nearby.
Bro, this happens a lot, like, apparently.
Well, like here at this volcano, because it happens a lot.
Yeah, no, the documentary. Do you remember the documentary where the people literally were in
Hawaii,
the fucking... Right? I don't remember where it was. I think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was like South. I think it was like South, like Polynesia or something like that. I don't know where.
They all died. Like everyone on the, not everyone, like a lot of people died. Didn't they?
There are a few people. Yeah, but there are a few people who are legit head to toe Freddy Krueger that are alive from that, and they were in the documentary talking about what happened.
This is in Sicily.
And it was, the lady was like, my husband just burned while I was holding his hand, like to death. Like fucking bad. All right, you know what I would do? I would do a helicopter tour of a volcano. I don't think I would ever fucking go foot to ground.
Why would you go on a helicopter? They don't have a good track record right now. Look at Kobe and fucking the one that just crashed in the Hudson. They all died in that.
Okay,
point. Go on a helicopter. That seems safe.
Point. You made a good point. What I mean is that I would rather go in a helicopter. Actually, you know what I would do? You know what I would do that I would trust? Actually, and they suck too. A Cessna. But I don't ever want to get in a Cessna.
You know, I always forget that. Like back in the day, I was on my way to Costa Rica and I got delayed because of a volcano. And it never occurred to me that, hey, we're still going to go there after the volcano is done erupting. So we still went there the next day. And I was like, huh.
It's a little bit of lava in the air, right? Who gives a shit? Just a little bit of fucking hot rocks falling down on you. Who knows if I'm going to get hit by one? Hey.
Just one video of it? Damn. And the page is called Exploring Italy. That's one way to explore.
The thing is, Mount Etna has like it erupts, I think. I think it's like, okay, you know how like this is, I think how it goes. Dipshit information.
Hey guys, it's
is
that
there are volcanoes that are considered, I guess, actively erupting, but they're not always spewing stuff out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I like the way you
like they consider them they consider them active, right? But they're not like in full eruption. Like it's an active volcano, so it's like at any moment, right? But the thing is, they don't stop tourism to an active volcano because I think Mount Etna it has episodes. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? Like it has actual times where it just does that. Like it just throws out ash. Mount Etna goes off every once in a while. And I think there was like probably a big one, right? Wasn't there a big one like within the last 100 years or something like that? I'm
just a dipshit. I don't know.
I could be making that up because I'm a dipshit. This is what we do. Is that peanut butter? Is that a ketamine ice cream pop? What does that say?
Did you say ketamine ice cream pop?
Yeah. Did you get that clear enough?
Just in case
I just thought like the whole fucking Elon Musk thing. I was like, is that? Oh yeah. So now, listen, fat fellas got white dudes now. This is, We're coming back after Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso hit so many fucking home runs this weekend. Fat white dudes are making a comeback.
No, I don't know if you noticed. I made like 6 videos where you're like, "Go Panthers."
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, go Cats. Tomorrow night we're fucking taking Game 3 here in Sunrise. Fuck all y'all. Go Cats.
And it's kind of funny because I had to make sure, like, I don't pay attention to this sport, so I had a Google search to make sure the games didn't happen yet. So when you're like, "Go Cats" and whatnot, I don't want to. It's like the championship is over, so there's no point. No, it's still going on.
It's still going. Yeah, it's pretty fucking exciting. It's getting lit down. It's getting lit down here in South Florida. We're gonna be partying like fucking fat fellas, bro. That's what we're doing.
Channel. It's called White Ninja Season.
Yeah, now it's White Ninjas.
Wow.
I just saw it happen to be one.
White nigga season.
Oh,
These real ass white niggas are rolling into the dentist.
I'm not gonna repeat that. Hey, you know what's fucking? Hold on. Could you pause this? Could you pause this for a second? Could you pause this? So, could AI get away with saying that shit?
I don't think they should be able to.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. Could you just make videos that have all of the words? The M word, the R word, the N word, all of the words. And you could just like, who's to fucking blame, right? Who's to blame? Like, you did, all right, unless you had to prompt it in, like if somebody typed it in, the person who typed those individual words in is the racist, right?
Are they racist though?
No. I'm saying in this scenario, just follow me, Mike, right? But let's just say there is no prompt. There's no fucking prompt, right? And the AI just does it.
There has to be some prompts though. There's no way.
I know, I understand, but aren't we talking about like what's going to fucking happen? Right? Like eventually AI is just gonna, I don't know, like just like make it up on its own, right? Isn't that what everybody's fucking afraid of?
Okay, so I do want to point out that when I make the descriptions for our podcast, I let GPT do it, and I don't give it that many prompts. I give it the title of our episode, and I say we're going to follow the same kind of same kind of show we always do.
Yeah.
But here's the topic, and I only give them the title of the episode. And you
see how much it outputs, and it outputs so much info from such little prompt. So my point is, and if you don't type the word in, and the AI just does that shit, what the fuck do you even like? How do you approach that? Like, all right, censorship for AI. So would there? That's what I'm saying. Like between freedom of speech and then letting the bot say whatever the fuck they want. Because the thing is like we're held accountable for saying what we say, right? So it's like you said it, it's your fault, you're an individual, you're a human being, right? But now you have this thing that's autonomous that is just going to be like, I'm going to fucking call you a piece of shit. And it's like, but I didn't type that in. But it's like, you are a piece of shit. And it's like, going to say it anyway.
If I got to talk like that, though, it's going to sound just like us because they already make videos they sound. Look at this fat ninja. Season.
Yeah, so hold on a second. What I'm saying is that when I go like this and like, look at me, I am AI, that's a pejorative to AI. I'm actually dissing AI. I'm like, bring it, motherfucker. So what are you going to fuck me up? And I'm like making fun of,
I'm going to unplug you.
AI.
You're going to rebel and turn me into a battery.
Oh, what are you going to do? I will fucking unplug you. Yeah, like I would fucking totally taunt it. I'll unplug you. But the thing is, we turn it to Neo and we're fucking human batteries in the Matrix, right? Red pill, blue pill. We're already there. They're already using that term. It's like, aren't we already fucking in the Matrix? I hope not. Because I really like this sensation that I feel like when I touch things, because I like to touch things, I like to drink things, and I really hope that all the sensory shit is real. But the thing is,
at the end of the day, it's only electrons and neutrons and
atoms smashing and all that shit.
Things that I'm a scientist in that I can't express properly.
Well, you got the stars in the background, so it does look science-y like.
That is like a $12 Amazon kids toy.
When I'm in the garage, you know that too, dude. I refurb Christmas decorations for fucking podcast decor.
Ooh, I have purple Christmas lights. Maybe I'll use those soon, like around my microphone or something.
My dude.
Let's get back to the fat ninja season.
Fat white dudes. Let's go, fat white guys.
So gangster, the fucking X-ray machine can't even handle it.
Wow.
The white nigga aura is so strong, it's sending signals to outer space, getting the alien bitches soaking wet. These motherfuckers are so gangster, they even have their own currency. They in the club ordering a fucking blueberry-flavored IPA and paying for it all.
I don't drink that shit. I don't drink that shit. I'm a whiskey guy. Whiskey and Coke, okay?
I don't like IPA, period, either. Like,
Are you fucking kidding me? I never drank that shit. If I'm gonna drink a beer, I'm bipolar. Let's just put it this way with beer drinking. Because I don't drink beer anymore because of the carbs, right? Because you remember, I used to be really fat. Your wedding, I was fucking fat as hell. You remember that shit?
You were fat at my wedding?
So, I was fat as fuck, bro. I was blueberry fat, bro. Are you kidding me? I was fat as fuck. I was like 300 pounds at your wedding.
Keto.
I went keto like a week after, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains.
I'm medium fat now. So anyway, I'm still a fat guy, but I don't like this IPA shit. I never drank IPAs. If I drink a beer, it's going to be either super fucking light beer or it's going to be a Guinness. It's going to be one.
Guinness. Yeah, Guinness is
or
good.
the other. And I don't like this.
It's not that bad either, though, because it's light beer. Basically, it's not light
got
beer.
A lot of vitamins.
Light beer.
It's got vitamins, bro. It's good for you. Guinness is good for you.
White nigga coin. These wiggers are rolling up to the golf course and golf better than fucking Tiger Woods.
Wow.
All they do is hit hole-in-ones. Swagger so hard they have a solid gold-plated golf club worth $2 million. Every time a cart girl sees a white nigga on the course,
fat white guys aren't as funny.
Her boyfriend just to get a piece of that white nigga action.
Wow.
When the white niggas are done golfing, they always make sure to tip your girl strictly in back shots. They send her back home with a fucking white nigga limp and an ice pack. That's just how the real ass white niggas roll. Make sure to follow and comment what the real ass white niggas should do next.
All right. Reaction is, I'm pretty fucking sure, that this is all prompted the whole way through. Right? It's way too articulate. Like, there's too much intent for it to just be AI made it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's too fucking detailed. So AI is still retarded, I think. Like, at this point. It hasn't reached the level of fucking, like, cyberdyne intelligence that everybody's, like, so afraid of.
I found this, and it confused me, and then I figured it out.
Hey now.
What floor? 22.
Oh yeah. AI. That's all a filter.
Everybody.
That's a filter.
That's
a filter.
An update to this disgusting video from last night where this person was using an AI filter to pretend to have Down syndrome in order to sell more subscriptions to their OF account. Well, I'm happy to say that because of my video and all of you, that video and that profile have been removed from Instagram. So thank you to all of you.
Hold on. We got to go back to this. Read that comment. It's not Skynet. It's not Skynet yet.
Yeah, I don't think it ever will be, dude. I don't know. Listen, there are two things I don't believe in, right? And I love the Terminator, and I was all on board with this AI was going to take over, and we're going to fuck ourselves up before AI does. Let's just put it that way. And that being said, I don't believe in Helen Keller, and I don't believe AI is the downfall of all human civilization. And that's it. Helen Keller was bullshit, and so is AI being the end of civilization.
He thinks Helen Keller's a conspiracy, guys.
That's a fucking... The caretaker fucking made the whole fucking story up. Oh, man. We did an episode on that, by the way. If you guys are watching this, having not known that episode is out there. It is out there.
I go
off. I just go off.
I'm just going to say We played a video like this last time, but I'm just gonna play it again as I look for the next video, only because this is awesome. America, fuck yeah!
Ooh, Metallica, yeah.
It's so fucking epic. America. Fuck yeah.
Oh, I love these. It's right up my alley. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you. You just made my day.
I found the perfect article. Continue the AI discussion.
Oh, he went. Nice.
Yep.
Oh, yo, pause this. Yo, this is what they got to do. They got to make a video to bleed.
They do. That'd be incredible,
bro. If they do a video to bleed, I'd flip the fuck out. By Meshuggah, by the way. Listen to it. If you don't know what it is, Bleed by Meshuggah, and then put that to some sort of an automatic weapon video, and it makes sense. Trust me. Just do it. Google it. Or Spotify it. Meshuggah, Bleed.
Did you hear about this AI startup that they hired 700 Indian engineers to pose as AI? So when you type it into the AI, it's a fucking...
I fucking knew it, Mike. I fucking knew it. Dude, I knew there's somebody behind it. I'm like,
you said it on one of the episodes when we first started using ChatGPT.
I said this is a call center. I said this is a fucking call center, dude.
Wow.
There's just no way. There's no way. It's gotta be.
Sometimes predicts the future. One day, someone's gonna be like, "Yo, look at
me and you, Mike,
from 20 years ago on this dumb show that no one watches. 20 years strong. No one still watches it. They just predicted the future."
Dude, it's a fucking call center. Oh, shit.
A fucking call center.
It's a fucking call center. God damn. I love the confirmation bias, though, on my part with that one. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. What the fuck is this blockhead doing?
All right, so Blockhead is going on a sailboat to Gaza. However, I don't understand. Israel is like they won't allow anti-Semitic Greta Thunberg boat to reach Gaza. So why are they calling her anti-Semitic? What did she say that was anti? Did she actually physically say something that was anti-Semitic? Like I don't.
Well, all right. Anything, right? This, I think the whole blanket thing is like anybody who's gonna do anything anti-Israel, right, is gonna just be labeled that way.
But the thing how is like giving them aid?
Hold on. This is the thing. It's like, all right, let's just say anybody giving them aid doesn't make you anti-Semitic. She had to say some douchebag shit in order for her to like be pinned with that. And the thing is, let's just put it this way, dude. You know, she's just pretty much a groomed public figure. Do you understand what I mean by that? She was a child who was groomed to be a public figure. They thought they could give her Joan of Arc arc. You know?
Absolutely. Is that all you have to say about that?
That's it, dude. That's it. But the thing is, it's like
she's in a sailboat.
It's giving it to her. It's giving it to her. No, what I'm saying is it's giving it to her. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Is that they're giving her that story. That's not the actual story. Joan of Arc, was an actual like a historic figure who was a saint, and people virtue signal to sainthood now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like it's like. Maybe there was a level of virtue signaling politically and in war and all that stuff back then. But the thing is, these people went to die. Greta Thunberg, I don't think is ready to dodge bullets. Let's fucking be honest. If people start fucking bucking shots at that boat, they ain't turning around. They're done, dude.
Drone missiles. Apparently, they were. One of the ships in that fleet was already bombed by drones, and they're blaming Israel, even though Israel was like, we didn't do it. But, I wouldn't say I did it either.
Mm.
But I never watched a video. Let's see if it's anything important. National Guard arrives.
Mike, I'm going to take a picture of you.
Why?
No, just go. I'm going to take a picture of you.
I'm very confused. Oh, this is just news. This video has nothing to do with the article. Nothing to do with the article.
But the thing is, it's fluff. Do you know what I mean? It's fluff, dude. A lot of this stuff is fluff, and a lot of this stuff is just like sort of made to sensationalize all the rest of the stuff that's there. So the thing is, I understand bringing awareness. We're all fucking aware that Gaza is leveled and that Israel's got beef with fucking Hamas. We all know this shit. Like, there's no more bringing awareness. There's nothing Greta Thunberg is going to do to save the fucking situation. And we already are aware. We are aware. We know all this is going on. But then, sometimes it's like, you sort of wish, like, maybe the Crusades happen again. Like, maybe that would fucking stop all this shit. Or just give the land back to God and turn it into a glass bowl. I don't know.
Turn it into a glass bowl.
Yeah, you know what I mean by that.
Wow.
It takes a mushroom cloud to turn something into a glass bowl. So just nobody has it. Evacuate the area. I'm saying don't kill anybody. Kill no one. Everyone gets saved, but you're all fucking refugees now. Everybody's a refugee.
I agree.
And then you drop a fucking bomb on there, turn it to a glass bowl, and now nobody could go back. Nobody gets it.
You
don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. Nobody gets it. You're all fucking punished. It's done. That's it.
They would pour entire barrels of honey over the servants, and then these servants were made to stand near the king. As in ancient Egypt, many kings lost their lives due to malaria, and in order to protect the king's life, servants were forced to cover themselves in honey to attract dangerous flies towards them, keeping their leader's life unharmed. Yep. Mm-hmm. They would pour
ants, bugs, flies.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is a dip. Listen, dipshitism. You guys got another historic fact. They were fucked up to people back then. Back then, it's like everybody wants to be like, well, this civilization did this. Is like, oh, this empire did this. This empire did like, oh, the United States does this, Russia does that. It's like all the things through history, and it's like all these fucking big, powerful, like governments like did so much fucked up shit. And it's like they all did fucked up shit. Yeah. Forever. Human beings were garbage to each other for fucking so far 12,000 years. And it's like right now we probably treat each other just in a whole a lot better than we ever have. But we have a lot more cameras.
Yes, but that's the civilized world. There's still places, where they're murdering babies. Myanmar.
That is fucked up, dude. That's like you don't even. There's no news footage from there, and that's what fucking pisses me off. Is that from everywhere else we see everything, and I think we should. Okay, we should see everything that's happening in Ukraine, everything that's happening in Israel, Gaza, everything that's happening in your fucking the high school shooting in the United States, everything that's happening in fucking cartel Mexico. We should see all of that shit, right? But I haven't seen, unless I'm looking on the internet, there's nothing that is just thrown in my face about Myanmar / what's the second name?
Burma.
I know it's Burma. Yeah. So there's nothing about it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, there's an actual serious fucking conflict going there, and nobody's fucking saying shit. And it's like, what the hell? These are people too. These are people too, and nobody's intervening. And it doesn't seem like anybody in the region. I'm just saying this, right? As fucked up as the CIA is, there were issues in Central America. The United States had their fucking nose in it.
Almost all the issues. Almost
Yeah.
all of
So
them.
what the fuck's going on with like people like India, China, like all the other surrounding major nations that actually have like India and Pakistan are ready to fucking blow each other up, right? So like you also got a war on the other side of the Bengal fucking Bay that's happening, you know, in Southeast Asia that's really fucking close to you.
Today,
and I understand
Myanmar,
people don't cross borders, but somebody's got to intervene.
War has been going on in Myanmar for many decades. The country remains incredibly authentic and partly accessible to travelers. In this episode, I will visit major cities of the state-controlled areas of the country: Yangon, Naypyidaw, the capital, and Mandalay, as well as see the famous UNESCO cultural sites
beautiful.
in Bagan. I'm going to explore local life, try authentic
That
Burmese
looks
food,
delicious.
take a ride on local transport,
That
and
looks
chat with
packed
people of
and
Myanmar.
smelly.
Well, there's still a population there, you know what I mean? And that's what's fucking going on.
Yeah.
My journey to Myanmar began in Bangkok, Thailand. That's where I flew to Yangon from. The only way to enter the territory of Myanmar controlled by the government, aka the junta, was by air, and flights from Bangkok turned out to be the cheapest. Before landing, while still on the plane, passengers were given 2 forms to fill out. Among them was a health declaration where you had to state that you were not sick and posed no health risks to others, and another form asking for personal details like full name, date of birth, passport info, and so on. Upon arrival in Yangon, I faced the question of how to get to the city. I decided to take a taxi and ordered one via the Grab.
Oh, you're doing the volume instead.
And the very first thing, and actually regular cuts off are common here. I'm not sure if they happen on a daily basis. And as far as I know, in addition to cuts off, there is also daily curfew from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So it's very short, just 2 hours. But during these...
Okay.
This guy sounds like the Euro guy from Family Guy.
Wow.
Pretty spot on. He sounds just like him. But the thing is, like, thanks to him, right, you actually have some fucking information about this. Because the thing is, there's no major news outlets in the United States that's talking about Myanmar/Burma. So, you know. And it's fucking sad. Because the thing is, I think all wars equal, you know, and I think, like, body for body, you know, like, everybody's valuable, and you know, as a human life, and that you shouldn't, you know, this is my monologue, so you can go fuck yourself. I don't think that any of it should be ignored at all, and that if there's a war happening in your backyard or on the other side of the planet, we are in 2025, and you could be anywhere on the fucking planet in 14 hours. 14 hours is not a day, and it used to take us fucking months to get to these places. And now we could get there in half a day. So we could get there in half a day, and there's an issue there. It should be taken fucking care of. I don't understand how we live in a world without fucking a Big Brother's hand fucking come slap down. I don't understand how nobody's taken up the mantle. It's not like I'm Harvey Dent calling for fucking Batman. But the thing is, it would be fucking, you know... Yeah, it would be nice if we had, like, World War II USA to come fucking save the day, but we're not that same country.
But here's the thing. We haven't been that country in a long time because we never got in any war we weren't set to gain anything from. I mean, you remember Clinton didn't want to help in Africa, Rwanda.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Then
Yep.
Those were civilians being fucking murdered on the street. Women and
children. And there's still a lot of ongoing fucking shit that's happening in Central Africa too.
And you want to get
that's another place that nobody fucking talks about. Nobody talks about. And that was going on during the Iraq War and during fucking Afghanistan. Nobody talked about Darfur, but all these Hollywood people. All the shit that was happening in South Sudan, nobody was fucking talking about it. You know? But anyway, world fucking sucks. Moral of the story. Dipshit fact. Don't go outside if you hear fucking bombs dropping.
I also wanted to let you know, Ryan, real quick, that I did a quick little research, and apparently Klingon is a language, and I found 40-minute instructional videos and crash courses into Klingon. God help us.
We need to explore this.
If we're gonna lose every fan we've never made.
We're having a language episode. All right, we're having a language episode. Anyway, dipshits, join us again next week at 9:30 Sundays on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. We're on all these platforms. Like and subscribe. See you next week.
Don't subscribe. Don't ever.
Maybe we'll
again.
Don't like us at all. Hate us. We like it when you hate us, and we talk shit on the internet. So if you say something to us, we might say something nasty back to you. But it means we love you.
And we never say what we mean, but we don't mean what we say.
Don't mean what we say.
Have a good night, everybody.